Been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. Well, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
This is Silver and Blue Nation, the voice of the fans. Here's Big Game James and Producer G.
How about this, Cowboys?
Yeah, I know you missed that. I know you missed us. I know you missed us.
We're back.
Big Game James.
Producer G.
Silver and Blue Nation.
Here we are.
We're back. You know what I'm saying? We did a little Christmas edition at
Holiday
the crib.
hiatus.
We had the Christmas tree, had the pretty presents, and the girls loved it. They had a great Christmas. Everybody had a great Christmas. My little one called me the Grinch, but I don't care.
I don't have time to have a bad time.
Get what I'm saying? But, hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here in the studio. Last game of the year. Everybody jump on in here. I see Dino in here. Daniel, everybody jump on in here. I see my boo, Annette, Joe Bishop, Michael Henley, Daniel Meza, Dino, Grace Gomez, Raymond Kerr, Stephen Arthur, Tony Pereira, Juwan James. Get on in here. Thank you,
Yes,
everybody,
yes.
getting in here for Silver and Blue Nation.
Yes.
We're going to do a quick pregame, and then we're going to do our game by
Yes.
play-by-play. So make sure you have say in
Yes,
here.
not taking a ton of comments today, so
Yeah.
make sure you guys check back in for the play-by-play like he just said. This
For
is
sure.
Silver and Blue Nation.
For sure.
Facebook Live, YouTube.
Yep.
We'll come to you guys too, but tune back
Yep.
for the play-by-play. That's where we're really going to dive into comments and be there for an extended period of time. But
Right.
today we just wanted to get into a few things. Obviously, we got the game coming up, a preview, and there's some other stuff to talk about as well that happened throughout the week.
Right.
So what do you want to dive into first here?
Whatever you want to. Throw some. You said you had some stuff for me. Get
Yeah.
some stuff for me. Shoot it at me. Let
I
me
guess
see what
we'll
we
start with something about today's game then. Are we worried about resting players? Zeke's resting. Are you worried about that at all? I look back at 2016, and that's kind of what that reminds me of. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I'd like to finish the season on some momentum. What do you think about that?
I'm kind of torn because I kind of do want to rest Zeke because we really have worked him this year. I mean, he had over 1,400 yards this year. Not crazy because his rookie year, I think he had 16, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he had 77 receptions
catches.
this year. This was his career year in receptions. So they really did work him. He did get, we did personally see when we played Philly, a lot of the games after the end of the game in Philly, he was getting off the field limping. You were noticing bumps and bruises on him this year. So in that aspect, I don't trip off them resting Zeke, and I also don't trip off them resting Zach Martin because we need Zach. And I don't trip off them resting Tyron Smith because he's had problems all year. The other guys, they're playing. So I'm okay. I would love to play Zeke, but I'm not tripping that we're not.
And, all right, well, we'll keep it moving because we got a very short period of time here. So starting 3-5 on the season, down at the bottom of the division, coming all the way back now, winning the division, home playoff game, strong defense. Do you think the Cowboys can really win the Super Bowl this year?
I don't say we're going to really win the Super Bowl, but I honestly say we can make a playoff run. I made a post on my own personal page today saying that, when everybody says you're one and done, if you look across the board, everybody's saying, the Cowboys are going to go be one and done. They're going to be one and done, one and done. Nobody believes in us. This is the first time in a long time we've actually had a defense that can actually carry us. I don't know about Super Bowl, but I know we can do some kind of a playoff run. I really believe that we can win this first playoff game. Beyond that, I do not know, but I have a really good feeling about this first playoff game just because everybody's saying that we're not going to win it. Everybody's saying we're going to be the same old Cowboys. And I believe that we were never 3-5 with Garrett, and we never shown this kind of resolve with Garrett. So I believe things can happen because this has never happened with Garrett.
Yeah, speaking of Garrett, we're going to get to him in a sec. You want to give a couple more shout-outs real quick?
Yeah, let me
people
give
that
it-
just tuning
yeah.
in on Facebook.
Tuning on Facebook, I got Michael Lozea, Cedric Williams. You see, you good at these names. This will be some tough ones in here, G. Armelio AJ Jamelio. If I messed that up, I am so sorry. Producer G is the guy. He is the name guy. I'm the guy that gets you. If you got nicknames or those side names like YouTube, holla at me. I got those all day.
Yeah, we will come back to. We'll get on YouTube as well, but right now we're
Ryan
looking at
Dye's in
Facebook
there.
Live. Ryan Dye, Jop Young, Tina Mashmeyer, Ronald Rice, Juan Madrid, our guy, Jess Couch, what's going on? Dino, appreciate you all. You just brought up Jason Garrett. How much credit does he deserve for the turnaround, and how much credit would you give him if they win the Super Bowl?
I can't lie. I had to give him a lot of credit. I've personally said many a time since last year, we weren't going to win a Super Bowl under Garrett. We weren't going to win another one under Jerry. I just didn't think it was possible. Not saying that we were going to win it now, but I think the pendulum has swung. But as I said before, we have never seen Garrett be 3-5 a full season. We saw when they fired Wade Phillips and he came in and was 5-3 when they were already in a losing season. But we have never seen him in a full season come back from a 3-5, run the table like he did, and win an NFC championship. So I got to look at like some positives. This has never happened before with him, so why can't it be a Super Bowl run with him? Because this has never been done under Jason Garrett. So all things are open. Can he do it? And he does deserve credit, because you and me both were talking about it when he was 3-5, that, you know what, the season's over, let's just lose these games. We were trying to figure out what was going on. And guess what? The team, and we both had said before, the team has never quit on Garrett, and team has never quit on him, and this team definitely didn't quit on him. So he deserves a lot of credit with this, because the team could have went done.
I mean, I think he was only under 8-8 that one season when Romo was down.
Right.
It was Matt Castle and Brandon Whedon.
That's right. He didn't have a starting quarterback in 1 year. So every year he's only had one losing season under the Cowboys, and that was when Romo got hurt.
Other than that, he's been at least 8-8 or better.
Yes.
3 division titles?
3 division titles in 5 years.
Now it's just about winning in the playoffs. We already have that expectation now, getting to the playoffs. Now it's about winning in the playoffs.
You got to make a difference in the playoffs.
So Darren Woodson made some interesting comments this week. You kind of want to let us know what happened with that, and then what are your thoughts on it?
Well, yeah, Darren Woodson made a comment that players believe more in Dak Prescott than they ever did in Romo. And he was basically saying that, when they were down with the Indianapolis Colts 23-0, that players were still believing they could come back under Prescott, and that players were not believing that if they were down like 14-0 or if they were up 14-0, that could believe in Romo. That kind of threw me off, because
it's almost like the opposite of what we had been saying.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off, because in my heart, from what I believe, that when we were down by 14 with Romo, I felt we could come back. Just because Romo was the gunslinger. Romo had the ability to throw us back in the game. I can understand where he's coming from the leadership aspect of Dak Prescott, but I just can't agree with Woodson on that. He's closer to the Cowboys than me, so he may know more. But from the outside looking in, I just don't agree with that, because I always felt we had a chance with Romo. I'm sorry. When we're down 14 points with Dak Prescott, I'm sorry. And Dak is a leader of men. He's a winner. But when we're down 14 with Dak Prescott, I have serious doubts that we're going to come back. When we were down by 14 points with Romo, I did believe we could come back, because I knew he could throw us back in the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've been saying the same kind of thing with Dak, as far as we get down 2 possessions, I'm worried about the game. What's up, Marco Flores, Aaron Howard, Garrett Moore, what's going on? Juan Madrid says Cinderella story. I mean, why not? We see it a lot. We've seen the Giants do it a couple times. But we're not even going to be 6th seed. We'll be 4 at the least. So we get that home playoff game, which is big, after being 7-1 at home. So let's move on then real quick, because we are starting to run out of time. We'll be here right up till about kickoff. Then we'll have the play-by-play. So
make sure you tune in.
You guys can check back in on that. We're going to keep it on the quarterback topic, though, and it's been a hot topic. Are you signing Dak Prescott long-term? What kind of money are you offering him right now?
Well, I've been looking at the numbers, and I've been going through.
They look good.
I've been looking at the numbers. If you were to sign Dak Prescott to, like, you remember everybody was saying, don't sign him to no $20 million. $20 million is almost like a deal now,
right?
Because the way the quarterback market is going up higher and higher. And just think, Patrick Mahomes is going to sign a record deal. Patrick Mahomes is going to sign a crazy deal. So, he's going to average at least $30 million, right? So you could get a Dak Prescott for a $20 million, and that's a bargain, and you can still sign other players. So if you're looking at it in that aspect, and you look at, if you're Dak Prescott and if you're the owner, and you look, do you deserve a raise? Well, 3 years, you're a 4th-round draft pick. You got us to the NFC. You got us 2 NFC titles in 3 years. You were a Rookie of the Year in 1 of the years. You've been a winner. Your numbers have not been terrible those 3 years. and you've had a winning record all 3 years. If you're the quarterback, you're saying I deserve a raise.
Yeah, I mean, if he's that's what I'm wondering. Like, because you're saying we might be able to get him for $20 million on a bargain. Like, maybe not. What if he's looking at his numbers like, hey, I'm up there with the best. Like, I need more than that. That could be. It
could be, but I don't think he's going to win that battle with Jerry Jones, because you know how Jerry Jones is go ahead.
What if he wants to go maybe try and test the market then? You think Cowboys are getting into a bidding war for him?
I don't know. It's so confusing because Dak Prescott is one of the most confusing players in Cowboys history to me. Because 1 minute he does great and you're like, I like this guy. I've always liked Dak Prescott, so let me not say that. But it's just the inconsistency. And I don't know if Jerry Jones gets in a bidding war with him. It's going to be because who's going to be really going after Dak Prescott? That's what I want to know. You feel me, G? Yeah. Like, what other teams are really going to go after Dak Prescott to say, oh, we want him for $25 million? I don't think other teams are going to do that. I'm sorry.
He's not the guy that comes in and changes your team and gives you 10 wins like a Peyton Manning would.
I don't think, like, if he were in free agency right now, if he was in a free agent and I don't see teams just going after him saying, we're going to pay him $20 million. I don't see teams doing that, so I think that we could get him for a good deal because I don't think he's going to have a high market for him, even though he's a winner for sure. People, and you know, GMs alike want those throwing quarterbacks. They want guys that can throw the ball. Why did Kirk Cousins? He's a 4th-round pick, right?
Yeah.
And he's done crazy with this. No, look how much money he's made. And why has he made it? Because he can throw the ball. Not because he was a winner. He wasn't never a winner at Washington, because he could throw the ball. And the people in the GM and the presidents think, well, if we got a guy who can throw the ball and we got good defense and a good running game and good receivers, we can win. So that's what they look at, and that's where the confusing part is, where these contracts go.
Appreciate your comment on Facebook Live. Rose Shiflett. Timothy Slater says 20 to 25 million. Dino says 20 plus for a guy who can't win a game on his own. Dino, let me just ask you this. Would we be winning games right now with a Brandon Weeden or a Matt Castle under center? That's what I want to know.
Ask if will we be winning games with a Cooper Rush?
Exactly.
Will we be 9-6 with Cooper Rush? Let's keep it real. No.
So if the answer is no to that question, then you got to give Dak some credit for winning games.
Right, he has won games. It wasn't just our defense. And now the defense played high level, but Dak has won some of these games, has he not?
Especially if you look at the 3-year span. Yeah.
He's had fourth quarter. How many times have we talked about the fourth quarter victories that he's had in 3 years? It's up already right now with the Cowboys greats right now.
Yeah, because if we can keep that game within 1 score, I do have a lot of confidence in Dak if the game's within 1 score.
Now, we get 2 scores, I have my doubts. But if you keep it that 1 score going in the fourth quarter, I definitely believe Dak can pull it out.
Kickoff in about 9 minutes. We got a couple last little things here to hit on. We're moving fast, but come back for the play-by-play. We'll stay on the contracts real quick, then we'll get to some score and bowl predictions.
Nobody wants to give him money.
Tank Lawrence. What are we doing with him? Is he getting re-signed to a big deal? How much money is he going to make?
Let me add, this is something key. I got a guy that follows my page. His name is Graham Moran, and he said when he went down to Dallas, he saw every jersey except DeMarcus Lawrence's. He said nobody could not find any DeMarcus Lawrence jerseys.
I wonder why that is.
And he said, do you think that's because they're not going to re-sign him? It really made me think.
What if there's a thing where, like, they can't make his jerseys right now because he don't have the contract, so they can make all this money off his jerseys and not have to pay him for it?
We'd have to figure that one out. I definitely feel like he's a stalwart on the defense. Even though he didn't have the sack year that he had last year, I feel like he was even better. He's had a career year. He's a leader of that defense. He's only 27 years old. Sometimes you have to assign your guys, and this is a guy that you have to bring back. If you're trying to make like that Super Bowl run these next 2 or 3 years, then you have to have a DeMarcus Lawrence in the fold, and he has earned his money, hasn't he, G? We talked about he grew up the right way in the Cowboys system as far as the draft pick status, and he's done it the right way. Now, has he slipped with the little drug issues? But he's bounced back from that. He's stayed clean. He's become a leader. We had our doubts when he had the drug issues and everything else, and now look what he's done. I definitely believe he deserves his money, and Dallas should pay him.
Real quick then, staying on the defensive line, Randy Gregory's been playing well lately. You think maybe that's a guy that they're thinking of that could be a cheaper option at that spot?
I definitely looking at that aspect, but Randy Gregory is a right defensive end. DeMarcus Lawrence is a left defensive end. The only person that you could say you let DeMarcus Lawrence walk is if you move Taco Charlton right into his left end spot because he is cheaper, and then you could have a Randy Gregory Taco. But he's not nearly as productive. And Taco Charlton has got the little off issue going with the Cowboys right now because he's been having problems with the, sitting out, the so-called shoulder injury. So it's going to be a slippery slope what Dallas is going to do. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to command a lot of money. He's going to get a lot of bids on that market, and a lot of people are going to go after him on that market. So you know how Dallas is. They don't like to get in those bidding wars, but you know what? You locked up Zach Martin because you felt like he was an integral piece. You locked up Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith. Well, if you're looking at the defense and on our defensive line, what is the most integral piece on our defensive line right now? It's DeMarcus Lawrence. So if you locked up those guys on offense because you said those guys were pieces, you need to do the same thing with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah. A lot of decisions to be made. Difference, though, was those offensive linemen, they got those guys signed before their rookie deals were up. So
true story.
You're always going to be battling with this franchise tag or bidding wars. We see you in there, Bob Heck, Timothy Slater, Anthony Johnson, Vondell Jackson, Eric Kashaney, Jawan James, Terry Turner, Ron Smith, all you guys. We appreciate your comment. Make sure you check back in here in a minute for the play-by-play.
Yes.
We're running through some quick topics, and then we're going to get the score and bold predictions. Amari Cooper, the type of impact he's had. Do you think he's been like the biggest difference so far? Because we were 3-5 when we made the trade, right?
He has to be. We also understand that not only has he been a threat, he's won games for us. You've seen what he did in that Philly game when we were there. You saw what he's done. But not just that, it's just that he has drawn other guys. Remember when we had the Dez Bryant at his peak? What was the reason why Dez Bryant was so productive? Not because he could just get catches, he could draw coverages. That's what Amari Cooper's starting to do now. Now you see a Michael Gallup. Now you see a Cole Beasley. Now you see a Blake Jarwin. Now you see a Dan Schultz. You see those other guys starting to get more receptions and getting open. You know why? Because I believe Amari Cooper draws that attention now, because you must respect Amari Cooper because he will hurt you. He will beat you deep. He will beat you short. He's a tactician. So, yes, he has opened the whole offensive game. He made life better for Zeke. Zeke was already a monster, but now you got a guy on the outside that can basically make you change your coverages. Now it opens the door for Zeke Elliott. So, yes, he has totally changed our team, and I'm glad Dallas went out there and said, we're 3-5. We don't want to lose the season. We're giving up our first-round draft pick. We're going to get bold and go get Amari Cooper, and I appreciate Dallas for doing that.
Yeah, and we've seen these type of deals not work out in the past, so It's good to finally see one go the Cowboys' way. So now we'll get back to today's game. Real quick, a couple updates. You have one on Tyrone Crawford and Tavon Austin?
Yeah, Tyrone Crawford is not playing this game. They said he'll most likely be ready for the playoff game because of that neck strain. I believe Tavon Austin is playing in this game.
And what type of impact would you think Austin could make? Do you think he's going to get out there and do something? I mean, we saw he was a deep threat. He actually scored that big touchdown to come out and start the game against the Giants earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think this is more of him just getting his feet back wet, getting him some good reps, getting him ready for the playoffs. I think he's going to be more deadly for the playoffs. Definitely, let's see if we can get some punt returns today. But that's what we need in the special teams. Me and you have talked about when have we had a special teams guy that made any kind of difference in Dallas Cowboys in a long time. And Austin could be that guy. He got healthy at the right time. He had the injury, got healthy at the right time, and he could be that spark in the playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs because it's a one-game thing.
Yeah.
And anything can happen.
You need that punt return.
Yeah, so we can do just like anybody else. So I'm excited. I'm not really expecting big things in this game, but I definitely think something can happen in that playoff game.
What's up, Daniel Meza? Appreciate you. Met you down there at that Cowboys experience. That was a great time. Appreciate you. Lee Norman, real quick, wants to know about David Irving.
David Irving, I believe, is still out. I don't know if we can even count on David Irving. They said they haven't even seen him in the facility. So, as I said before, I told y'all I don't think David Irving even likes football. The only reason why he's playing like that because he's 6'7", 300 pounds, and he just has that all-world ability. But we'll see. I don't know if they're going to hold a roster spot open for him. They should, because you just can't deny that talent. And no matter how goofy he is, 4-game run, it could happen.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Katina? Appreciate you in there.
What up, Katina?
Let me see. Someone else said something here. Maybe I'm missing for this game, but that's okay. You going to go ahead with some score predictions? I know we don't have starters, so it's going to be a little tough.
It's going to be a little tough. I said 10-6 this year, didn't I, G? At the beginning of the year, I called 10-6, so I'm going to have to stay true to that. So we're definitely going to go for that victory. 10-6 Cowboys for the season. I'm going to say it's not going to be high scoring because we don't have the elements. I'm going to say one of those 17-14 games, Cowboys.
I'll take the Cowboys 20-10. Don't know how long the starters will play, but hopefully we can show some depth at least in this game. We know the Giants are garbage.
And they got
No
a lot
OBJ
of guys.
today.
No OBJ. Believe they got a couple of defensive players. Alec Ogletree, linebacker, is huge. He's out.
And why would they even play Barkley that long in a meaningless game?
You know how it is because they're playing the Cowboys and they're at home and they want to embarrass us. That's
true.
why he'll play us.
They all love to hate.
Yep, and they want
Anyways,
to beat us.
Make sure you guys check back in for the play-by-play. We're going to end this stream now. We'll restart it in just a few minutes. We might start a few minutes into the game, but make sure you check in with us, and then we'll also have the second half play-by-play in-game reactions. If you can't see the game, it's a good way to at least keep up with what's going on and talk with us throughout the game. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. That's Big Game James.
And that's producer G Voltron. We'll see you in a few.
All right.
Yeah.